Hello, I got the mic out. The drama. If you, like me, have ever been a hustling, high achiever, workaholic kind of person, then it is very tempting to adopt the belief that everything in life is under your control. We're used to the rough equation that intention plus hard work plus time equals achievement of goals. We believe that getting results is up to us. And while that is an incredible belief to help serve you in achieving your dreams and making things happen and having the discipline to actually be consistent towards making your goals happen, it can also quite quickly turn into a very depressing belief that leads you to be unhappy with the state of your life, that leads you to think that the grass is always greener, that leads you to believe that challenges that you're facing are just 100% your fault and 100% up to you to solve, and that also the state of being in challenge is not something useful to you, is not something that serves you, that you need to get yourself back to a state of thriving again. So this year I've been learning the much harder lesson that we're actually not as in control of a lot of our lives as we would like to believe, that sometimes timelines are outside of our control, that sometimes life is giving us not necessarily what we want, but what we need. And that not all activities of real merit and value have external reward. Sometimes the most valuable journeys of all happen just in here. And there's no real change externally, but an entire world could have changed up here, an entire way of thinking, so much unpacked, so many patterns brought to the surface and healed. And that is all extremely valuable stuff. Before I jump into today's video, if you are interested in deepening your self-reflection practice, in learning more tools for introspection, I can't recommend enough taking classes on Skillshare. Skillshare is the world's largest online learning community, especially for creatives. So there's classes on everything from being a freelance illustrator to how to be productive as someone who works for themselves, or like me, I've been doing a lot of their writing courses, and especially have been loving courses focused on journaling. I mentioned it a while ago, but I've done this one called Fictionalize Your Life by Robin Walden, and he talks about how your life is someone else's fiction. And almost every single morning for the last few months, I have been brain dumping 3 pages every single morning, and just writing down my stream of consciousness has been so healing to understanding what I'm thinking and feeling, and if I come to points of indecision, like reconnecting to what feels true. And I think there's no better time than summer for learning new skills, for deepening new practices. So if you're interested in picking up a new skill or learning journaling for self-reflection, then I can't recommend Skillshare enough. The first 500 people, only the first 500 people clicking the link in the description will get a whole month for free. It's genuinely for free. That's how I started with Skillshare, was from someone's free trial, and I love it. Like, I genuinely just think it's an amazing tool for learning. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. Let's jump in. I don't know if you're familiar with the idea of internal locus of control versus external locus of control. The idea is it's categorizing where we believe that our sense of control over our lives comes from. So some people with very strong internal locus of control believe that they are in control of all of their life's outcomes. Like, everything they see around them is a product of their hard work, their action, their intention, their doing. Whereas someone with a really strong external locus of control might believe in fate, synchronicity, higher powers like God, or like the fact that maybe you don't even have free will, like everything is kind of determined for you and you are living a predetermined path. The majority of my life, I've always been someone with extreme internal locus of control. I've never been particularly religious, like I've never been taught to kind of like trust in something bigger than me. Like, I've always just thought, yeah, anything I want to achieve, I can just make that happen. Like, it's all up to me. And again, that mindset has a lot of benefits. Allowed me to really succeed at school and create incredible goals for myself. But I am learning in this phase of life to adopt some kind of external locus of control, and to adopt this belief of trusting in a divine timing, trusting that everything that is happening has its own reason for being and existing. So maybe this next part is going to be a little too spiritual weird for some people, which is fine. I fully respect that. Like, obviously, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. But I'm here to show up on these platforms as my authentic self, and doing that in the hopes that it inspires you to also own your vulnerability, even if it's scary. And for me, the last 6 months have been a real period of examining my own spirituality, my own beliefs, what I want to believe about, what belief systems I want to allow shape the way that I live my life. And the current belief system that I really love for giving me peace in the world is the idea that every single one of us is a soul that has chosen this life journey. For whatever reason, you as a soul, you picked all the challenges that you're undergoing in this lifetime. Ups and downs, people you fall in love with, people you fall out with, like all of it has somewhat been chosen. And we each chose the path that we're in to learn certain lessons. And every time throughout your life that you feel this niggling sense of intuition, of gut feeling that draws you towards certain people or places or decisions, it is like you are being given an opportunity to evolve, to ascend, to learn the things that you came here to learn. And every time that you have that intuition but you suppress the feeling, you are choosing to stay stuck in that lesson, and life is going to keep presenting you similar challenges until eventually you make the choice that actually truly serves you. And all of our tangible challenges will look very different because we all have different lessons that we need to learn here. But this sense of intuition, this sense of rightness or being drawn to certain things, that is something that we all experience. And I think cultivating that connection to self is so important for living an empowered life. And so if I look at my life through this lens of having chosen to be this Jade, the daughter of my parents, a British girl growing up where I grew up, with all the like cultural, social, economic factors that I grew up into, being here to experience challenge of different forms, being here to experience love and connection to other people, to have certain experiences hold up a mirror to myself, parts of myself that maybe I haven't seen yet, or parts of myself that I need to heal or come to terms with. That is a belief that gives me so much peace whenever I'm in periods of uncertainty or struggle. It somewhat takes the pressure off of myself because I'm able to see it with a bit more grandeur, that this is just like another tiny moment in the grand scheme of my life, and that this moment is so much bigger than just a heartbreak or just a job rejection or just a fallout with a friend. It is like yet another opportunity to come back to self, to listen to my intuition, to do what best serves the highest version of me, to be invited towards situations, peoples and places that maybe I can't even see yet that would actually serve me more and give me more of what I need. So today I'm going to talk to you about learning to trust the divine timing of life, learning to trust that I don't need to be in control all the time. I don't need to be in control of all eventualities and outcomes. I'm allowed to sit in uncertainty. I'm allowed to sit in places of challenge because all of these places of challenge actually have so much intrinsic value for my growth and evolution as a human. I'm going to tell you more about what the past few months have held for me and tell you about where I am now. Summer is for blooming, and I really feel like I'm blooming. Finally. I actually started 2024 thinking, this is going to be the year of the girl boss. This is my year to focus on career, to figure out my life, like to figure out what I want to do beyond just having a YouTube channel, which I do love. Like I love having a YouTube channel, don't get me wrong. But you know, this is my network year. This is my LinkedIn year. Like you can literally go back to January and watch my LinkedIn hype videos. But life gives you what you need, not necessarily what you want. And this has ended up being my year of slowing down, of sitting in uncertainty, of just, I don't even know, like learning to be fine doing less, learning to be fine existing outside of society's timelines or what peers are doing, learning how to raggedly cry unapologetically when I need to cry, learning to like make decisions that really serve me, like breaking up with my partner of 3.5 years. That was literally the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, like the bravest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And that whole process of like overcoming that was so much more than just overcoming a breakup, like overcoming patterns that have existed in my maternal lineage that don't serve me. I don't want to continue these patterns. I don't want to choose men just for stability's sake and staying with them. when it might not serve me. I don't want to do that. And it was really hard to decide to break away from that, to create a new pattern. Yeah, it's been a year of therapy, been a year of journaling, been a year of self-care, been a year of getting 8 hours of sleep every night and making sure I do all the habits that serve me and investing in community and friends and just allowing myself to feel joy again, finding what used to give me authentic joy and leaning into that, not needing to do a million projects all the time. When people say oh, what are you up to right now? I don't need to brag. I don't need to say I'm busy. I can say that I'm being slow. And at the start of this year, when I was still intent on making this a hustle girl boss year, just nothing was flowing. Everything felt so difficult. It felt like there were so many blocks in a way that was me going against my intuition. My intuition said break off the relationship, lay off from it, slow down. But I was no, I don't want to do that. I want to keep pushing. I want to go harder. And the second I finally gave in to that intuition, I feel I have finally started to learn the lessons that I need to learn this year. I have just done so much internal growth, and this is why you've got to trust the divine timing of life, because maybe your intention for this chapter of your life was so different. Maybe you just look at the age that you are and you wish that things were so different. Maybe I thought I'd have kids at this time. I thought I'd have bought a house by this time. I thought I'd be so much further in my career. I thought I would have the degree that I don't have now. I thought I'd live abroad. So many things that you can say, but those things are irrelevant. They're irrelevant. The only thing that matters is living your own authenticity, whatever that means to you, and just leaning in to what feels intuitively right in this chapter of life to learn the lessons that you need to learn as the wonderful, gorgeous, unique soul that you are. And in trusting this divine timing and allowing myself to just be messy, I just finally feel I am starting to bloom, and I'm blooming from this place of deep-seated empowerment. I feel so myself. I feel so real and joyful and happy and here. Obviously my life is not perfect. Life is never perfect. I still get stressed. Still don't love London sometimes. A lot of walls being built up in the city. But the rebirth has happened. It's happening. And the only way that I've been given this real, deep joy is from sitting in all my pain and misery and trusting that that was the lesson I needed to learn of the last 6 months to a year. If you take just one thing away from this very rambly video, I would say it is that all the answers you need lie in the present moment. All the lessons that will serve you most to being the happiest, healthiest, grandest, most wonderful version of you lie in the present. And all you have to do is lean in. Ignore what anyone else is saying, ignore expectations, ignore the voices in your brain telling you to do something else. Just lean into now. Whatever uncomfortable feelings you're avoiding or distracting yourself from, lean in. They are the source of your answers and self-knowing. Everything you could ever need, everything you could ever want to know is right here, present with you, if only you listen. If you're a logical, rational girly, I dare you to have the imagination to trust in something bigger than you. I know it's a terrifying thought as someone who's an atheist most of my life. Now I don't even know what I call myself. Agnostic? Spiritual? I don't know. Who cares? Who cares about labels? Who cares? We're just here. We're all just messy people, believing in what makes us feel most peaceful and true in this world. I dare you to have the imagination to trust in something bigger than you, to believe, in your deepest of hearts, that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Have imagination. My life, there's something bigger than just me figuring out my life. There's a purpose to everything I can't see yet. And at least in my experience, if you lean into the present, eventually you will look back and all the answers you needed were revealed to you. They don't ever come all at once in that moment, but through you just being present, you'll look back, the answers will have come to you. Wow, this is such a rambly little video. If you made it to this point, Hi, thank you. So cute that you're here with me, listening to my deep rambles. It is such a joy and a luxury to connect with you on this little corner of the internet. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to grow and change in all my life phases. And yeah, I just feel so grateful for you. Please tend to your inner world, nourish yourself, give yourself grace. We're all too hard on ourselves, you know, we don't have to have it all figured out, just trust. It's all slowly happening, it's all slowly conspiring in your favour. Oh, it is a hot day, wow, love it. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Definitely check them out if you're interested in improving your journaling skills or just any creative endeavours. They literally have everything you could ever want to learn this summer, like so incredible. And only the first 500 people get a free month, so go, go, go. Love you guys. Bye.